Hello there. Hello there. So, today I wanted to talk about adding diversity to your curriculum. Happy 2024. Happy New Year. We're back in the swing of things. Holiday break is over and we're getting right back to the work, right? I hope y'all enjoyed your holiday break. I hope you had an amazing time. Right now, what I want to talk to you about today is the reason why representation in education is so important. It is definitely something that should not be overlooked. Oftentimes, I know for me, I did not see a teacher who looked like me, I believe, until I was in the 10th grade. Maybe ninth grade. I feel like it was 10th because I didn't have geometry as a freshman. So yeah, 10th grade, that was the first time I experienced having a teacher who looked like me. Um, and that was also the first well, no, that was not the first time I had a male teacher. I had PE teachers who were male teachers. So, but that was the first time I had a male teacher that was not teaching PE. And it was interesting for me, right? And I bring this up because when we're looking at the scope of education, and we're looking at these things that are constantly talked about. We're talking about achievement gaps and different things, student engagement, right? One of the things that is not discussed, or I don't often hear discussed, is the representation factor. And I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with it, but I'm gonna talk about the infamous doll test, right? The doll test that was done in the 40s by Kenneth and Mamie Clark. So they conducted this experiment. For those who are unfamiliar with the doll test, I'll bring it back for you, just real brief. The whole scenario, they showed African American children um, dolls, gave them a variety of dolls to choose from, and many of the children chose the dolls that were quote unquote white. They associated um, negatively and negative characteristics with the doll that looked like them. And the the cause of this, what they found in their study, is that the effects of segregation were causing these African American children to have a inferiority complex because of the subliminal messaging that was being put out through society, right? Now we are no longer in segregated schools for the most part. However, a lot of what we see in the curriculum has not fully diversified, if you will. There is lack of exposing children of, I mean, all children, not just children of color, but there's a lack of exposing them to different people who look like them, who are in positions of success, positions of wealth, positions of power, quote unquote, unless it's athletic to some degree. And we need to shift away from that because little African American boys can aspire to be things other than a football player, other than a basketball player. They can be scientists, right? There's so many other things that they can attribute and aspire for, but if they don't see these things, they're not going to know. Children spend the majority of their time at school. Most of their day is spent at school. So the conditioning of their mind and the things that they are taking in is based on what it is that we are presenting to them. And if we are never showing them people who look like them doing things that they might not typically see on TV, then they're never going to associate those things with something that they can do. Why was The Cosby Show such a popular show? Because for what it was, that was the first time there was a African American family that was successful. The mother and the father were it was like Leave It to Beaver, but African Americans. And it was a beautiful thing. It gave people something positive to associate themselves with. And we need more positive associations, especially in the curriculum. Like, I shouldn't have to wait until I get to college to learn about certain artists of color. So if you are new to my page, I would love for you to go back through my videos during Christmas. I did a whole 12 days of artists of color that you can introduce your students to. Like, they should not have to wait until they're in college, or they shouldn't have to wait until they're doing some elective class to be able to be introduced to people who look like them, who are doing amazing things, because these things are happening. And I just want to leave y'all with that today. Don't have these kids waiting until they're in college. What message are you sending to your students? Do you have books in your classroom? Do you have people who they are able to write reports on? Give them options. Allow them to see other people, people who look like them. That is something that will definitely build their esteem. And if they can have their esteem built, they're going to be able to now tie it into the academics. Like, we can't be so academic focused that we are negating the mental health of the child. And when they are mentally healthy and they have a positive image of themselves, they're going to do academically much better than what we have seen in the past. So I want to encourage you, if you are someone who is a curriculum designer, if you are in charge of gathering the materials and putting the curriculum together for your district, for your school, take a look at what options are out there. Diversify, add some diversity to the curriculum. This whole diversity, equity, inclusion initiative is great, but let's not exclude the children from it. Like, it's so on a corporate level, let's not exclude the children from the diversity, equity, and inclusion, and allow them to see themselves in the curriculum. That's how you make the curriculum culturally relevant. Let them see themselves in it. That is what I have for you on this day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Feel free to follow me on all the socials, arts.reach.consulting. Sign up for my monthly newsletter. And if you are an educator who's like, hey, what you are talking about makes sense, I definitely want to add some diversity into my curriculum. I want to add some art into my curriculum that's going to allow my students to engage. I do have a cohort coming up at the end of January. If you would like some help building relationships, engaging your students through arts integration, tackling culturally responsive teaching, and having a plan for yourself to take care of yourself, part work that you need to do, having plans in place to take care of you, the educator, so you can continue to show up and do what you do on a daily because we need you to do what you do on a daily to reach these children. My Reach to Teach cohort is approaching. Please feel free to shoot me a message and I will gladly send you the information. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday for another quick Thursday chat. Have a great evening.